Welcome everybody back to another NoLimits 2 tutorial. As you can see, I've added quite a bit since our last little journey, and only from what we have learned in the last video is what I added. We have a lot of stuff to cover today, such as 4D controlling, unlocking spinning and swinging, that's another good one. Editing terrain is another huge one that we are going to be covering, and also how to add these seemingly 3D object made things without actually having to get a 3D editor or maker thing. Yeah. Oh, and we're also going to learn how to add custom scenery, which I have already dug out and fully prepared myself to add it. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Also, I'm going to show you how to make a piece of track straightened just from the top. That way you don't have any of the hills intruding on each other, and it looks really nice. So, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to the two new additions to our family of roller coasters in this theme park. We got Crow. It's going to be really nice. And we also have Plague, which is an extremely short fourth dimensional roller coaster, but the way that I have it planned is it's going to be really nice. So let's go ahead and start with Crow. Let's unfreeze this bad boy. In order to get a straight section from just the top and not from like a 3D perspective, so it's not just a straight line with no hills on it, we're going to highlight this section right here. We're going to go under track and we're going to do make straight 2D, top only. And that's going to be really nice for people that, you know, want a straight section just from the top. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate what this looks like. There you go. Now you can see kind of what it looks like. You've got the hills still, but you know it's straight from the top. I do not want that on this roller coaster though, because I have this all already laid out and designed, and it's going to be really nice. So here's the issue we're going to be running into when we make this roller coaster. We're actually going to ride this ride, right? And this is a suspended coaster, so the cars are going to be swinging from left to right and, you know, kind of freely, and they still follow the track. However, if we do not add a section where, you know, you unlock the not the spinning, where you unlock the swinging, if we do not add that section, then it will just stay aligned with the track and there will be no swinging motion. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going under track and we're going to add a trigger right here, just because that's where I want it. Alright, and here's the trigger. We're going to double click and we're going to name this unlock spinning, or not spinning, why do I keep saying spinning? Unlock swinging 1. Unlock swinging 1. There we go. And then we come under here under train event and we unlock swinging right here. Apply, and we can close out of that. There we go. Now the ride is completely free swinging, and that's going to be a really nice effect. I don't know why the editor does this. It's a weird little bug. Alright, the next thing we're going to be doing is where I'm going to be showing you how to add a transfer section onto your roller coaster, so your extra trains have somewhere to sit on the off season when the ride isn't actually moving. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going under element and special track. You'll have three options here. You'll have a switch track fork, which that looks like this. This. There we go. Looks like that. Your track will come up from here, and it can either go to the left or the right. That'll be really nice to have when you're making a dual station, but we don't have that. So we're going to go ahead and cut that out. The other track is a special track merge. This is pretty much the same thing, just the other way around. Alright, and then we have a transfer table. There we go, I can't talk today. We click on that, and this is what we get. We're going to have to edit some things, though, in order for this to work. So what we're going to do is we are going to get out of there, double-click this, and you'll have a bunch of different options here. So number of tracks, we're actually going to just lower that down to 2. And the default track will be number 2, which means it's going to be on the right. And the current track will be on, you know, the right. So, now that we have all that set out, we need to make sure that our distance is correct. What the hell? Okay, I did something wrong here. Number of tracks, just 2. You can have negative tracks? What the hell? Okay. Why the actual hell are there 6 options here? Lower these. Okay. What the hell? I did something completely wrong. Let's, oh. Oh. I know what I did wrong. Okay. I was still in the add transfer table section and not in the select modify section. So let's double click this. Let's go down to number of tracks, which is 2. Default track is 2. Current track is 2. Okay. And there we go. We have a very successful looking transfer track. Now we align this and make sure that it's aligned. How long is this? I think it's just 20 meters. Yeah, it's a 20-meter section. So, yeah. I overshot this. I thought I had a lot more room. Or, I mean, a lot less room when I was actually making this. So, what we're going to do is we are going to bring this over here. And we'll see that it doesn't line up. That's a very simple fix. You can either customly take this and drag it along and hopefully it'll align. But I don't like to do that. I actually like it to be a little bit more exact. So, we're going to have it be at 4 meters. If I remember correctly from a suspended coaster I built in the past, that wasn't wide enough, so we're going to go 6. So 6 meters across, they're a bit wider, but it'll be way worth it in the end. So we're going to bring this down, and we will see that it is now exactly aligned. That is what we want, and this is what we're going to do. We are going to connect the pieces and hopefully have stuff, you know, good to go. Oh, also another thing that's good to have is to have a little bit more extra room in your transfer track because you can never be too exact with how the train stops. I mean, you can, but, you know, things are always subject to human error, and that is always something that you have to account for in real life. Which, when I'm making rides in this, I try to make it as real as possible. So the next step that we do is we have to lower this. Oh, no. So we click and drag. There we go. Down, down. Okay. So now that it is aligned with this bottom track here, and we are going to click on this, hold Control, and click on that. That means it, you know, connects them both, or it selects them both, and then we hit Connect here under Track. And there we go. We have a connected piece of track right here, and it is good to go on the back end. The only thing that we have to edit is this little brake section needs to be back here a little bit more. And there we go. Alright, now we do the same thing up here. We click on this, hold Control and click on that. I mean, you could just drag, but this is more exact for me and I like that. So we're going to do the same thing here, and voila. We have a very nice transfer section here. Yeah. Alright. So now that that's done, we can go into here and we can check out the properties. So the display structure will be simple. We don't want it off because I'm not making anything else. We're going to click OK. The next thing that we are going to be needing to add... Okay, hold on. I actually need to edit these supports here. Make them look nicer. There we go. Alright, that was very nice actually. Okay, so we're going to add a vertex here. Boom. Not much yet, but we just bring it back. And we need this to be about 20 meters. Just to be safe, let's go ahead and make it 21 meters. Yeah. Yeah, that should do it. Okay. So, now that that's done, we have to add our supports to it. And we're just going to be adding prefabs to this because the prefabs for the suspended coaster look really nice. So you're going to go under supports. Nope, that's not it. Whoops, my bad. You're going to go under choose prefab. You're going to scroll down until you see the suspended double. Boom, boom, boom. We want 3 of those. Alright, now we're going to bring this in front of this one just a little bit, and there we go. We have a nice selection, and we are going to go back into track section type, and there is now a section called storage. We can click that, and we go into the properties. We can have a building, which is simple, and it looks kind of iffy. I don't know, it's a building, but we don't actually want that because I don't think I've seen a suspended coaster with building attached to it. So we're not going to be naming that, or we're not going to be defining the building. We're actually just going to rename this storage. Storage. Storaje. Okay, yeah, no, you know what? Storaje. Yeah, that's going to be nice. Alright, Storahe, thank you for your kind contribution. Now that we have this all set up, we are going to be enabling transport stuff. Yeah, that. Let's see, what do I have it set up in the station? How fast are they going? Transport. Just 8 kilometers an hour? Okay, I can do that. Alright, so we are going to do a 10 kilometer an hour speed limit, and, no, God, no. The hysteresis is 8. What the hysteresis does is it, like, if the train is going faster than 10 kilometers an hour, the ride will slow down to not only 10 kilometers an hour, but it'll slow down 2 kilometers more than the speed limit. And yeah, that's a pretty accurate description of that. So we're going to add friction wheels, and this will be on the middle car, bring it around to right about here. That means when the train stops on this block, what will happen is it won't brake until the middle car hits this part of the actual section. So when we come over here and we look, the train will come along this line, and then it'll start braking right about here, so the train will be usually about dead center. So we're going to come in here, make sure that everything is set. We're going to name this the transfer section. And it's important to define all of these sections because you can code stuff, and yeah, it'll just be nicer. But yeah, that's the transfer section. Hooray! We don't need a complete stop. And there are a few other options that we actually just don't need right now. We're going to come over here into this part, and we are going to slow down the train a bit more. The speed limit's going to be 10 kilometers an hour. And the hysteresis will be 8. There we go. Okay. Now that we have that set up, I need to make sure that this ride is actually in the right settings. So we go under Coaster Properties and under Mode. Yes, it is in closed circuit, and we want to add another train onto this. And voila, we have another train just waiting to be having fun with. I want to see if I can do this. So style settings, I can do this. I'm not too sure if it'll actually show up or not, but I hope it does. And if it does, then I'm just going to be one happy guy. Alright. Yeah. So, let's see, what else do I need to add? Oh, that's right, I also need to lock the spinning. I keep saying spinning. Wow, okay then. We're going to add a trigger, right about... no. Right about here. That's where we're going to lock the swinging. Yay, I said it right this time. Lock swinging. There we go. Apply, and we can cut that off. All right. We have now a complete suspended roller coaster that we will ride in the end. All right, so we need to freeze this ride, and let's see how it looks all in the end. And just like that, we have stuff that's ready to go. All right, before I actually stop working on this crow thing, that was good that I actually did that, because now I can add the railings here. There we go. Come back here and add the railings here. So let's add that. Done. And then we're going to go into sports and choose another prefab. Inverted catwalk frame. This thing is good for literally everything that, you know, inverted coasters stand for. Now, if I remember correctly, there were like 3 sections that... can I not add a prefab to this? Oh, awesome. Okay, so yeah, I can't add a prefab to that. We're just going to add a prefab there and add another one here. No. Here. Here. Yeah, I like that one better. Alright, there. I'm so indecisive right now. Okay, we need to add one more prefab, and then we're completely done with... Oh, no, not that. No, what the heck? No. I didn't mean for that one. This is what I wanted. And like that, we have another support. Alright. Yeah. We are completely done with this ride, so we are going to just freeze it and leave it. Next, we are going to tackle the 4D and the fourth dimensional controlling aspect of the ride. Actually, you know what the funny thing is now that I'm thinking about it, it would be easier to design the fourth dimensional properties if I didn't have this coaster frozen. Awesome. Alright, let's unfreeze it. I'm sorry for that. Alright, let's go under... Oh, no. Plague, yes. And unfreeze. What's going... I am derping so hard right now. Alright, yeah, so what's gonna happen is if this ride actually is to go, the seats will not move unless we tell it otherwise. So we are going to tell it otherwise. We're gonna unfreeze, and we are going to go under track and add a 4D parameter. Now, seeing as this ride is only like 2 dimensions, and it doesn't have any turns or anything, we're just going to be using this. So what this does is this tells it that the seats are not to be changed in positioning at all, which that is what we want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be adding a few of these throughout the track, and we should be making a nice and thrilling roller coaster. So I'm going to bring this back a little bit. There we go. We bring this one up. Oh, and the nice thing that I have found is that the L is like the positioning of the seats, and that is really nice when you're trying to make this roller coaster. And I want it at this... Let's see, did I have it at 30... Okay, that's good enough. We want to have it at 55 degrees right here. Alright, there we go. We won't be able to see it there, but we will be able to do this one. There we go. At 55... Oh, no, I did that the wrong way. Awesome. Apply. There we go. Alright, now that we have determined where the seats will be turning, we are going to be adding a little bit more of a thrilling aspect to the ride. So, 4D parameter, and we're going to bring this back here, and we're going to add one more, just for good measure. We're going to be going all the way this way. Alright, there we go, and we're going to bring this one back a little bit as well. And right there. Alright, so what's going to happen is, you know what, it'll just be easier if I show you, like, what's going to happen. So we're going to close this, we're going to freeze the ride. Oh, come on, freeze. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, now we are going to freeze Crow just because it'll look better in the actual simulator. And actually, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to give you guys a test ride of not only Plague but also Crow, and you will be able to see what it's like to ride them. So we're going to leave the editor, yes, and play. In order to change ride, you hit F5 and you click. That's simple. Okay, so we are on Plague, and this is what's going to happen when we ride. And, oh man! When we flip, make sure that we're facing all the way down. And then we flip backwards. There we go. And we swing forwards, coming into the braking section, and we are back at the station. Yes. Alright. Where is the train for Crow? Alright, the train for Crow, yeah, it's right there. We are actually going to hit F5, we're going to select Crow here, and here's something fun. You hit F4, you get the control panel. We're going to hit reset, and we're going to ride it. By the way, E is to switch between, like, the different views and everything, and it just looks nice. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up just because Swift Hills, you know. Alright, we come down here, and we hit our trigger, and that has unlocked our swinging. There we go. Alright. Yeah. Woo! Tunnel. Yeah. Alright. Then here is... I really like this ending part. This ending part is really nice in my opinion. Right here. Yeah. Whee! Then we hit that trigger and our swinging, God, I can't talk! Our swinging locks as we hit the trigger, and the ride comes in and leaves at the appropriate time. How perfect is that? And then, you know, in order to hit the transfer table, it's pretty easy. You just, you hit F4, and you have to be in manual block to do this. You go under switches, and right here, there, yeah. Why are there two unnamed special tracks? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that's how you do stuff. Alright, we are going to be doing one more thing to this ride, Serpent. We're going to be changing the colors of the back 3 cars. I want to actually have it get darker towards the back. So, we're going to go into the editor, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to go... Oh, no, bad here. There we go. We go into Serpent, and we unfreeze. Now, coaster properties, we go under trains. Alright, car 1, color setup. Oh, no, hold on. Okay, let's make sure that we have all of the colors ready to go. There we go. Alright, all of the actual colors are ready to go, so we're going to go under car, select car 2, and color setup. Individual colors. We're going to have the same seats, which, same harnesses, the bogies, and the chassis are going to be the same, but the actual car is going to be a bit darker. So we are going to lower it by, 10%. So let's do 50. There we go. Alright. The color of car 2 is now changed. We are going to go to car 3, color setup individual cars, and we do the same thing over and over again. You know, it's, there we go. This, and we're going to make this 40. We want to have an even transition all the way back. There we go. Alright, car 3 is set up. No, not car 3. Car 3 is set up. Now we're going to go to car 4, do the same thing, and we're going to do 30. There we go. That, and that. Alright. Now that the ride is done, we are going to freeze it, and we're going to see how the new train actually looks. Alright, you see how the train kind of gets darker towards the back? That is the exact function and feature that I wanted. Alright, now that we have done that, we are going to work on adding 3D objects here. This is going to be... Actually, no. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to do terrain editing. So, we're going to unfreeze every roller coaster in the entire park, because that's how we're going to have to do this, because they're all so close together. We're going to go to terrain settings, and there is the layer, and that is what we are seeing on the ground right here. That is just the layer. But first, actually, what I want to do is I want to turn the waves a little bit lower and a little bit less reflection. There we go. It'll fit the theme when we're done here. Alright, so what we're going to be needing to do is we're going to be adding a layer. This layer, we are going to set the repeat to less than 0.004 because that's awful and it makes everything just horrible. We're going to change the terrain. The rock and vegetation, we are actually going to have that towards the back. I will show you what that will look like when I'm done here. But we can do other kinds of things. So what this is going to be an auto paint, and the max slope, we're going to make this for the cliffs. All right. So the minimum slope is going to be 60 degrees, and hold on. Yeah, the minimum slope is going to be 60 degrees, 55 degrees, just because that's, yeah, 55. I'm going to stick with that. All right, 55 degrees. That's going to be the minimum slope that we have for our cliffs, and yeah, that's what it's going to look like stuff. So we're going to come into here, we're going to choose rock and vegetation. We're going to click OK, and OK. Now towards the back here, there is a very noticeable cliff right here. Not entirely sure why it's not auto-painting. Hold on one second. Terrain settings. Oh, Jesus, God, no. Oh, God. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, it's so bad. Okay, that I did not mean to do that. I'm sorry. Control Z. New layer, auto paint, apply auto paint. Yes. There we go. And now we have actual cliff looking areas, which is going to be really nice, and it's going to look good for the actual setup of the ride, which we will now be working on. So we go into terrain settings, and we are going to be doing another auto paint layer. We're actually going to rename this. We're going to rename this rock auto paint, or just rock. There we go. All right, this one's going to be called dirt. Guess what's going to be in this one? All right, we're going to choose this. We're going to go up a section, and we have a lot of options here. And this is going to be dirt, yes. And right here, we have a lot of different options. So yeah, dirt terrain or dirt. I'm gonna go dirt. Yeah, there we go. Dirt. Actually settings, auto paint. And let's see, it was 55 degrees was the max slope. We're gonna go 52 degrees. Okay. And apply auto paint. Hold on. Dirt, apply auto paint, yes. Oh my God, why? Oh no. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Something went wrong here. So, dirt auto paint settings, auto paint. Oh God, that's why. Okay. I meant to do 52. Okay. Okay, load settings, and there we go. And, yeah, let's reapply that auto paint. And it should just add a few more selections around the actual rock, and it'll just make it look a lot nicer and smoother once we are done here. Alright, that actually looks pretty decent. Alright, now that we have applied that auto paint, we are going to be doing another terrain settings, and this one is not actually going to be auto paint. This is actually going to be labeled cement. There we go. And 0.3, we're going to choose, and this is usually what I use for cement, but we can go into pavement and choose asphalt if we wish. I personally think the grass detail right here for the bump map, it actually looks better as cement, in my opinion. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose different points of influence, and we're going to paint layers. Cement and paint layers. And there we go. Okay, we want to make this as exact as possible. Alright, so all we need to do is we just need to come around here and, you know, bring this out. And there we go. We can get all the fine details a little bit later if we need to, but yeah, this is pretty much just the general idea of how you get some cement into your park. And we can always change it to asphalt and see how the asphalt looks, and if we decide that asphalt just looks better, then we can always change it. But I personally think that this looks better as cement. I don't know. Let's bring this down. There we go. And bring this out a little bit more. Yeah, we are probably going to change the settings of this cement, because I don't really know if this is what I want. I think it's a little bit too bright, but we are going to definitely play around with stuff and hopefully find the right solution. So, bringing this out. And let's make sure that we get all this in here. Yeah, there we go. Alright, everything's nice and painted. Oh, no, that's not what I want. And there we go. Okay. Alright, now we need to do some fine-tuning stuff. So we go down to 1 point of persuasion here. There we go. I don't like this. Oh god, I feel like I messed that up. There we go. Alright, that kind of works. Kind of. Alright, we get the, basic idea of how to do this. So what we're going to do next is we are going to freeze all of the roller coasters and see how it all looks. But first I want to make sure that this is all set up. Actually, before we freeze, I want to see how nice I can make it look. Alright, there we go. And let's go back into terrain settings. Let's open cement back up. Let's go for let's actually choose the the pavement. Actually, wait, hold on. Rocks? Nah, that won't work. Alright, up. And pavement. There we go. Cement, or that, yeah. Okay. And then it changes, and and just out of the blue we have asphalt. And I actually like the way that that looks better for this park. So now that that's all set up, we can now add other stuff to the park that is scenery. So let's add scenery right here, and let's choose something. We are actually going to go into our library. And NoLimits 2 comes with a few really nice looking 3D objects that actually fit into different themes pretty well. So we're going to take this and we are going to rotate it. We want it to be a complete 180-degree rotation, which is right there. Going to move this and make sure it's right in the center. Yeah, that's close enough. And then we are going to lower it. There we go. Bring this back a little bit more, I think. Actually, wait, hold on. Yeah, bring it back a bit more. Alright, now let's make sure that this is all centered up. Oh, no, that's not the... Yeah, this is. Alright. Okay, it's actually pretty well centered right now. So, this swinging ship will be animated in the actual thing. I actually need to raise this a bit more. Wait, what? Oh god. Oh god, it's up here. Why can't I lower it? What is this witchcraft? Oh god. Oh, there it is. Hello. Alright, we are going to lower this. And we are going to re-rotate it. Yeah, sometimes I'm a derp, and I understand this. There we go, that's pretty well in the center. Let's bring this back a little bit. Bring it up. Down one more, there we go. Okay. It can be moved a little bit to the right. There we go. And there we go. Alright. We have a nice centered position. Now we just need to lower it. No, let's not adjust that. Let's just bring that up. Alright, are we good? We are good. Alright, that is going to be the swinging ship. We are not going to mess around with that anymore. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Alright, now we have a swinging ship. We have lines and everything for the rides. The next thing we are going to be adding is trees. But we can do that actually. It's a weird glitch. Right there. You see that? Huh. Anyway, yeah, we are going to be adding trees, but that is something that we can do regardless of other stuff. But before we do that, we need to edit the terrain settings, and we need to change, well, not change the dirt from auto paint to something else, but we, actually, while I'm here, let's open up the auto paint here. And let's lower this by 1 degree. There we go. We have a new layer. This is going to be sea dirt, or custom dirt. It's just something that I'm doing to, you know, differentiate it from like the other stuff, such as auto paint. Yeah. Sorry about that. We need to come back up here. Up, dirt, dirt. There we go. Okay. And then the next thing that we need to do, we need to make another layer right here. We're going to go, oh, no, not that. We're going to open it up. That's the settings. This is going to be in the extras area. And this is a feature that I think is really nice. It's an auto plant object. These are going to be really nice for just adding stuff. But you know, the editor only comes with 1, which is still really nice. Actually, we're going to be, there we go. We're going to name it Tall Grass. And 0.1. Okay. There we go. We are going to reapply that dirt auto paint. Yes, reapply. Oh god. Okay, you know what? I don't care that this is here already, and it will stay. So we are not going to be doing the auto paint. If I do the auto paint, that'll be off screen because I don't want to mess anything up here. We are going to go under sea dirt, and we are going to paint layers. I'm going to be doing something that not many people do, but I think it looks really nice when you do it. I like to have dirt under my rides as they like go along, just because I don't know, I don't know, it just looks nice in my opinion. You guys can do it if you want, but I do it. Yeah, it captures my attention. There we go. All right. And then we bring this around. There we go. All right. That is looking pretty fantastical. We are going to bring this out. There we go. And we're going to bring this over here and this back. Now here's something that sucks, is that the dirt actually looks kind of crusty. I'm not going to add it over here just because I don't think it'll look right. I want it to seem like this part is a little bit newer, so that's what I'm going to do. We are actually going to edit the dirt settings because I don't really like the dirt settings and how it looks right now. So we're going to go into sea dirt, and we're going to go to settings, Detail map. Enable detail mapping. This is going to be nice. Dirt detail right here. Okay. Now let's see how it looks. Whoa, it's much darker and it looks a lot smoother. I really like that. That is that's definitely something that we're going to be keeping. All right, now that we've added the dirt to that ride, we're going to add it to our 4th dimensional coaster as well. So let's grab this and let's bring it out. There we go. It kind of looks like soul sand from Minecraft. Alright, now that that's been added, we don't actually need to do much more. We just need to add trees and make it a complete scene object. Oh, that actually brings me to my next topic here. We can also add another bit of scenery, so let's choose this. Let's go down, and there's something right here called Volume Fog. This is really nice for pretty much everything. So we're going to add it here, and we're going to, you know, we're going to bring it around the lake. Bring you over here. Right there. Add object. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, so as the ride comes in through here, they will be running through all kinds of fog and mist. It'll look really nice eventually. Yeah. Okay, let's bring this a little bit closer to the track. And, oh, there we go. Okay. Bring that out a little bit, and right there. Okay, now that we've added that kind of misty effect, we can also add it to tunnels, which is going to be a nice effect. So we're going to add an object right here. Bring this over. Select! Okay. Was that so hard? And we are going to bring it down, down, down. Alright, that is going to be a nice effect. Right there. Okay. Yeah, that'll be for the newer rides. Actually, what I could do is I could add some fog right here and here. Let's add it for the suspended coaster as well. This will all look really nice in the end, and it'll all pay off, I promise. Down. And a little bit closer. There we go. Alright, now this one. There we go. Let's fine-tune this bad boy right here. Right there. Let's bring it down just a little bit more. There we go. Alright, now that we've added all that, now we can add our trees and make it look like a fully undeserted area. Okay, so we are going to go into back to scenery, and we are going to add some stuff. So let's go up a section. Let's go into trees. You have an option here. You can either do the regular trees, which cause a lot less lag, or you could do 3D trees. We're going to have a healthy selection of both, but before we do that, we're going to have some cedar trees in here. So we are going to add object, and we're just going to fucking add them all over the place. There we go. Alright, let's bring this one a little bit over there. Okay, there we go. Alright, now that we've added a good, healthy selection of cedar trees to this mix, we are going to be doing some other stuff with other trees. So we are going to go back into the selection here in just a second. Alright, we're going to go back into the selection. We're going to do cypress trees. No, not cypress trees. Those things suck. Let's look at our... Ooh, fir tree. Yes, fir trees. Okay. We're going to be adding some fir trees. It'll make it look like a nice and full forest, or kind of forest. It'll definitely look kind of woodsy, and that's a feature I'm going for. So we're going to add some of these along the track lines. That way it just has a nice and, you know, woodsy feeling when you're running through them. There we go. Alright, now that we have all this added and stuff, and it looks all nice and dandy, we're going to be adding a few more things. What kind of things, you may ask? Well, things that make the ride look really nice. So, we're going to go over here, we're going to come back up here, and we're going to hit bamboo first. Oh man, okay. Yeah, the bamboo isn't really the best looking thing, but it definitely looks nice for bushes and stuff, and you know what? Bushes, definitely underrated. Yeah. We're going to be adding some bushes along this line right here. And along this. There we go. And for the actual line for this ride, I was just going to use bushes. There we go. Alright, cool. Now that we have all that set up, actually, we don't have it all set up yet. I'm just going to spread them out through here because we don't have enough yet. There we go. Add a few more in here. Put one right on top of here. Just because, yeah. I really have no reasoning for putting them up there, just why not? Alright, now we're going to be adding the 3D trees. These are going to look a lot nicer, but they are a lot more lag intensive, so definitely use them wisely. Okay, didn't mean to get it that close. There we go. Let's bring this down a little bit closer. There we go. Alright. Yeah, so definitely add them with care, but I overdid that on one of my previous attempts at a theme park, and it looked really, really, really nice, but it definitely caused me some lag, and I have a pretty nice computer, so that's saying a lot. Yeah, so definitely add with caution. That's all I have to say about that. And yeah, it looks like we are just about done adding all these trees. We're going to be adding one more selection of 3D trees that's really nice for getting those high spots that you need the area below. So we're going to add that, and there it is. Yeah, it's really nice if you want to have a nice and like going through a forest effect without actually putting your riders in danger. It's a really nice thing for that. We can put a tree right here just to show all the riders how high they really are. There we go. Actually, that looks really nice. That's definitely gonna be a nice effect. We're gonna bring this around a little bit more. There we go. Put one right here and here. Not right there. Put one right there and there. There. Yeah, that's gonna be a good and useful tree. We'll be adding this right here along the actual track line, and yeah, it's going to look a lot nicer than just in the barren wasteland of dirt and grass. It's a lot better. I'm running out of things to say if you guys can't tell. Yeah. Okay. So, now that that's all been added, we can go in and take a look at what the rides actually look like now, which they should look a lot better now, and they should all ride better as well. So we're going to freeze this. Come on. Alright. Oh, there is one more thing. Right here, these benches, I made them all completely out of custom supports. It was pretty simple. I just used a like a 0.05 meter snap function, and I just, I made a couple 2x6s, had it a 45 degree on this one, a 90 degree on these, and then just box supports that were 0.5 away from the actual 2x6s. Which it actually looks really nice as a bench, and we are going to be adding one more selection of scenery. So choose, we're going to go up. I completely forgot about this until just now. It wouldn't be under various, no. It's going to be under demo objects and lights. We're going to do a park lamp. I'm not entirely sure which one. How about this one? Here we go. Add object. Right here. Let's see how it looks. What do you get? I don't know. No, let's not do that one. Let's go back here and let's take a look at this. Oh god, no, not with the shadows. That's going to be a lot more... Okay, so what's the difference between 1 and 1B? Oh, 1 is a lot stronger than 1B. It's also got a cone. Okay. I'm just going to go with 1. I'm just going to go with the straight up 1. So we're going to do that. We're going to select and modify. We want this thing as high as possible. It doesn't appear that we can change the height of it. Great. Alright, so we're going to get over here and we're going to switch it around. There we go. We're going to move it back here. Yeah, right there. Alright, let's add another object right here. Add one right here. Add one right here. 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 There. 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 And then a few more back here. One right there, definitely. One right here. One here and here. Okay, there we go. Let's select and modify. Oh, no, that's not what I meant to do. Let's just spin it around. Awesome. Now, no, not you, not you. Your turn. Hello. Spin it around. Up. And there we go. It doesn't have to be exactly straight. Your riders and people viewing the ride will get the basic gist of what you're trying to do if you just have it pretty close. Let's Control Z. There we go. Yeah, no, no. There we go. All right. Oh. There we go. Make sure that we have everything all under control and all looking nice. There we go. No, select. There we go. I know I'm being kind of quiet right now, but I do have music playing in the background, so I hope it's not too bad. I definitely try to do my best when it comes to talking when I'm recording stuff, but I mean, I'm not perfect. So, alright, there we go. We have everything all set up in the park, and this will look really nice. I think I kind of want to try for a night setting. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the last thing that I'm going to be teaching you guys in this video, and that is how to change the weather and time of the actual, like, everything. So we're going to go to Coaster, and let's freeze everything else first. So let's freeze all this. Oh, before I do anything, I want to show you guys how I made the handrails. The handrails are really simple, actually. It took me a few tries and a couple lucky guesses, but this is how it ended up. These, it's a custom pipe with 0.06 meters as the outer diameter, and the custom color is that. It's 167 all the way around, which all you need is brightness 65%. That is how you get really nice looking handrails, and then all you have to do is then form them yourself and make them your own uniqueness. Like, add some stuff that makes it your own, and you won't go wrong. It'll look really nice. Alright, add scenery, choose, up, and see how much faster you can do it when you just know where everything is. Add object, there, And there. Okay. Now that that has all been set up, we can now freeze the last ride. We're going to freeze you. Alright, come on. Freeze. Alright, that actually looks really nice. I like the way that this all turned out. It's a little bit laggy, but it definitely looks nice. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to just go in here. Oh, not under File. Under Park. We're going to go under Environment. What you can do is you can override the default time. 18 hours is a good time for sunset. And the current date, whatever. Weather, you can change the weather as well. We're going to have no clouds. Actually, we're going to override the default settings. We're going to have no clouds, very little wind. We aren't going to have fog, but yeah, that's just the way it's going to end up being. And this is how the actual park looks at sunset, or kind of sunset. It looks really nice. So we're going to leave the editor and save our changes. We're going to hit play. And then one of my favorite features about this is, you know, well, you got all the fog and everything, and, you know, that's all nice and dandy. But if you hit Q when you're in the editor, or not in the editor, in the sim, you can walk around, and holding shift makes you run. Oh god, why? Oh, it did that to me again. Aww. Okay, so I had this issue where, like, bits and pieces of the terrain would, like, sink through the ground like this and go into water. I don't know why it did this, but it did this every now and then, and it was really annoying. So I don't know if there's a fix for that. If there is, someone should let me know, because that would be pretty cool, you guys. But yeah, this is the park. We got a lot of stuff going on, and it looks really nice. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If there is another tutorial, it will be something along the lines of scripting and lighting and how you can change them and make them your own and do stuff and make it look really nice. If you guys would like to see that, feel free to hit that like button. I appreciate it, and it lets me know that you guys want more. And if you guys don't even want to see a tutorial, you just want to see me build stuff, feel free to let me know. That would actually be really cool, because I am all in for sharing. That's something that's really cool. Oh, this scenery object, it is scripted completely. It doesn't look like the greatest thing in the world, but it definitely gets the job done of getting, like, an idea across. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you... Oh god, no, why? Why? Why do you do this to me, game? Okay. No. Over... Yeah, there we go. Okay. If you guys enjoyed this, feel free to let me know, and I will see you guys on the next video whenever I happen to do so. Oh, and check out my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/Corbels. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys soon.